Hey crafty people, this is Ellen with EGI Designs. Today I'm coming at you with some cards with the new Sheetload of Cards December 2024 sketch, and this is by Call Me Crafty Al. And every month Alicia makes a new set of the Sheetload of Cards, and it gives you all the instructions, it gives you the layout. If you only want to make one card, it has the dimensions for that, and it also shows you how to cut all the pieces. In this case, if you were going to follow this exactly, it would make 8 cards in a very you can make them very, very quickly, which is awesome, especially around holiday time when you need to make a lot. So today I've decided that I'm going to be using the scrapbook.com Snow Days patterned collection for this, and I pulled out a few colors of cardstock for the matting and for the card bases and all of that. I am going to be using, so this is a 6x8, and on this particular sketch the pattern paper is 2 sheets of 12x12, but I'm going to use the 6x8, and there's a couple of different ways that you can cut this. So I'll just give you an example, because basically you're cutting the background, and then you're cutting strips. And I really like this paper pad because they all go together and they're super cute. I like that one. This ornaments one is so pretty. And a floral. Okay. So the background patterned paper is 5 1/4 by 4. So you can actually get 2 background pieces from one 6x8. So I'll just do this really quick just to show you. So this needs to be 5 1/4, and then 4. I just want to make sure that this is correct. Okay. Alright, so and then we have this little piece that we can add to decorate the inside. So here's one way to cut this. So now I have 2 card backgrounds. Another thing that you can do is you can do the card background okay, and then we need to do the strips. So the strips are 5 1/4 by 3/4 of an inch. So we would put this at 5 1/4, and then we're going to be cutting down by 3/4. So this will go down to 3 1/4, and then 2 1/2, and then 1 3/4, and then 1. this little piece. So out of one sheet, you can either get 2 backgrounds, or you can get 1 background. Oops, sorry. Or you can get 1 background and 2 strips. And you want to try to keep these together. So keep them in little piles together, because when you put them on the matted piece, you want the picture to be continuous. Alright. And then the other thing you can do is that if you go through and just use, just make the background pieces, then you can just take any one of these, so probably like one of these with the pattern on it would be better. So then you could go through and just take 1 sheet of this and turn it into the strip that you're, the piece that you're making the strips out of. So, I'm just trying to figure this out since I don't actually, I have to start off here because I don't have. It's too far off the edge for measurements, so. And then you can just go through this whole sheet and just use all of this paper to do the strips. I'm just gonna even this up so we're and we can see how many we have for here. So 1, 2. And this one doesn't really matter because the pattern is not really directional or have to match. Alright, so we just need 1 more. Okay, so if you want to use the 6x8 paper, you have a lot of options as far as dividing it up, and I'm going to be making a ton, so I'm not really worried about having so many repeated stripes. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to get all these cut up and put together, and then we will put together one so I can show you how to do it. All right, let me finish this up and I'll be right back. I apologize for whatever reason on my second half of my video. The audio track got lost, so I'm doing a voiceover so we don't lose the footage here. But I had finished the 15 cards, and I was going to put together one with you so you could see how to do that. I stayed pretty close to the sketch. I did move up the stripe panel up a little bit, and the snowflake kind of took the place of the semicircle, and then I just added the the sentiment onto the side there. So here we're gonna get started to put this together. Just getting everything cleaned up. So in this case, we have the background, we have the two stripes, we have the snowflake, and we have the sentiment. The sentiments I did put on with foam tape just to secure those over top of the snowflakes. Here I'm doing a little bit of a trick to line up the stripes. Pardon me, frog in my throat today. When you're putting the stripes on, you want to make sure that you have if the pattern is flowing together, you want to make sure that's in the right order. So just keep that in mind. But I'm using the edge of my score buddy here to line up the stripes straight onto the matted panel. And even with this trick, for some reason, it's just really difficult to get the stripes straight. It's kind of funny. Just putting on the stripes with the tape runner, which seems to be having difficulty today. So I just evenly space that from the bottom, and then I'm evenly spacing this from the top, and kind of getting a uniform spacing in between the two stripes. And the good thing about tape runner or glue is that as long as you don't stick it down too hard, you can peel it up and try again to make that a little bit more straight. And I did notice that once I put these on, there are a little bit of overhang from the stripes on the right hand side. So I'm just going to use my guillotine trimmer to just shave off that little overhang there. You just want it to look nice and neat and a clean cut. So then it looks a lot better. If you have a directional paper for either your stripes or your background, just be mindful of that when you're putting your card together. There's a couple times I almost forgot that and ended up with upside down pieces. Like right there. This is the same thing. You can use the edge of, your scoring board or something like that, Misty, whatever you have, to line up the one edge. And then I kind of hold down the side and then try to look again and see if I can straighten it out. It's funny how something so simple is so difficult to do. Yeah, my kitties are in the background yelling at each other, so if you hear that, I apologize. And then again, on that side, there is a little bit of overhang, so I'm just going to use the trimmer again to trim that right up so everything is even. Just use the tape runner again. I I find that's easiest for me, but you could definitely use glue, you know, whatever you prefer. I don't really like using glue for whatever reason. I always make a big mess. And there we were, almost upside down again. But I caught it. And then you just layer that up on the front. Even border around the edges. And then the next thing we're going to do is put on the snowflake. And I'm going to use my my Sweet Petunia glue press on this. And I'll speed it up a little bit so that you don't have to sit through all the gluing. Yeah, gluing's not my favorite, but I find at least on gluing glitter paper, if I mess up and it gets on the front, you can't really see it. So I do kind of like that. Whereas if you had cardstock and it was a got on the front of it, you need to use your adhesive eraser to get that off and all that, so it doesn't look weird or shiny or any of that. The thing I like about this snowflake is that you can put it any which way you want, and all the ways look really cool. I did change it up on the cards from card to card. I just love how pretty that looks. Put a block to hold that down. Here we have our sentiments. And I'm using a vinyl weeding tool to take the box off. I find that to be really helpful. You just play around to figure out where the best spot is for you for the sentiment. And there we go. Finished card. We'll keep the block on there to help with the snowflakes. I'm just going to go through the products that I used on that. This is the Simon Says stamp, and it is the Ornate Star, and it is gorgeous when you cut it out. And then I also use the Simon Says stamp Snowflake Swirl. And then for the sentiments, I use the Christmas Your Way from Papertrey Ink, and I use the die set to cut those out. And I just use my MISTI, and I put 4 different stamps and then stamp them 4 times in different colors. Here I stamped them with the VersaFine Clair. I have the Morning Mist, the Spruce, and the Baby Pink. And then I just cut them out with the dies. And it was an easy way to do that. The paper I used was the Snow Days pattern paper, and that was from scrapbook.com. These are the papers that I used for the card bases. This is Frosty Pink from Altenew. I used the Brushed White from Spellbinders. And that one is iridescent. It's really beautiful. I have the Spellbinders Sage and the Altenew Morning Frost, and those matched really well with the papers. And then the Sparkle Glitter Paper, that was from Simon Says Stamp, and that is white glitter paper. And I liked it because the background was kind of pink and green, so it pulled together all the colors very nicely. Alright, getting everything out of the way, and we can check out the huge stack of cards. I mean, really, this only took me an afternoon to get all this put together, because you can do an assembly line. But I'm just going through, and you can check out like here I'm showing that I put the snowflake the different direction, so it's very versatile die cut. And you can see here all the different sentiments and all the different papers and stripes and all that. This one's one of my favorites. I love that. And we'll speed this up a little bit so you can take a peek at them all, but in a shorter version. All right, so that is all of our 16 cards that we made. It was a very easy process. I just followed the December 2024 Sheetload of Cards from Call Me Crafty Owl. I will list everything that I used in the description box. I do have affiliate links, and all that means is that if you click on my link and make a purchase, then I might make a small commission at no charge to you, and I greatly appreciate you supporting my channel and shopping through my links. Check me out over on Facebook. I post a lot of stuff over there as well as a lot of crafty sales. And if you like this video, I'd love to have you as a subscriber if you could hit that button. Until next time, like, subscribe, and all that jazz, and take care. Bye-bye.